Hello everybody, welcome to another stream here on youtube.com/Johnny Kidney. Kidney. That's my name. That's me. I'm Johnny Kidney. I can't say my own surname. Oh, I thought that was going really well, but it wasn't, was it? So that's sort of the level we're at for the start of this painting stream. Hi everybody, how are you doing? Did you have a good weekend? I hope you did. I had a very nice weekend. I went to Warhammer World in Nottingham. I went on well, it was ostensibly a stag do for my friend. I say ostensibly a stag do, like we were calling it a stag do. It was a stag do. But, my friend is non-binary, but we were like, what's a better term? We were like, let's just go with stag do. Went on a stag do. Went to basically 100% of the people on this stag were part of the Hot Bobs League, the Blood Bowl League. I'm co-commissioner of, and we had a lovely time. We played some Blood Bowl in Warhammer World. We did some mini golf. We played a lot of Blood on the Clock Tower, which I'd never played before, and it's great, that game. I remember when we were sort of learning how to play it, everyone was like, oh, so it's just werewolf then. And then after one game, we were like, this shit's all over werewolf. It's phenomenal. And then yesterday we went back to Warhammer World, and we did the exhibits, and then I had a very nice burger. I had a pint in a pub that has a canal boat in it, because it's an old canal house. And then I came home. So that was nice. It was very, very good. And hello to all of you in chat. Let's see what you did. Through Weaver played Final Fantasy 14 all weekend, and it was lovely. Sarah Burke says, I almost lit the kitchen on fire. Not an auspicious start to the week. That doesn't sound great. Nice Witch says, hello, I'm here extremely briefly before I have a boring work meeting. Hi, Sarah. I hope the work meeting goes okay and that it isn't too dull. Anonymous says, did you wear hooded robes and chant, lads, lads, lads? I hear that's important for stag do's. We did not, but in the night phase of Blood on the Clock Tower, we decided that it was a good idea for us to all sort of make noise to cover the sound of the storyteller like going around and interacting with people who needed to wake up. And we had music playing along, and everyone was kind of just singing along or harmonizing while just singing the word stag. At one point it was playing Concerning Hobbits by Howard Shaw. So it was 9 people just going stag, 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 stag. It got weird, but it was a very nice weekend anyway. And it's, you know what? It's really got me jazzed for some painting. So what are we going to be painting today? Well, that's not the right one. Painting, there we go. If you saw last week's stream, you'll remember we were painting specifically these exact models. Some orcs dressed as humans. These are Imperial Nobz. And I've got some finishing touches to put on these ones, and then we're going to start painting a couple of them from scratch, which will be very nice. But first, let me just pop my glasses back on to zip through these super chats. Aidan, before the start of the stream, did a super sticker of a pear. I trust you all can picture a pear. Now I'm going to distort that mental image somewhat by giving it arms, legs, and a face, and some sunglasses, which it... Excuse me. Oh no, here we go again. Which it repeatedly keeps pulling down its nose. Not that I think it has a nose. That's weird. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. What? Keeps repeatedly pulling down, anyway, in order to be like, hey, you! Which is very nice. Thank you, Aidan. That's very kind. Ducks piloting a mech surprisingly convincingly has done a super chat saying, hi, Johnny and LSPs. Hope all are well. Just bought a 60 Skeletons t-shirt and can't wait for it to arrive. I didn't even know that t-shirt was still on sale. That's good. Or available, rather. Ducks piloting a mech surprisingly convincingly has actually done another super chat saying, also, hope you enjoyed my home sitting of Nottingham. Did you go to the oldest pub in the UK and see the statue of Robin Hood? The arrow kept getting stolen. We saw the statue of Robin Hood kind of as we walked past it. Did not go to the oldest pub in the UK. We went to the King Billy and the Canal House. And that was it pubs-wise, because we did a lot of hanging out in our Airbnb. Oh, I need to blow my nose in a sec. I'll mute my mic when I do, because it's quite loud. In fact, I blew my nose yesterday in a restaurant, and a woman turned round in alarm, and I went, sorry. That was at 3 p.m. when the nationwide emergency alert went off, and she was considerably less worried about that one, which was quite funny. Titan Uranus is on a super chat saying, I returned hungover and bow-legged from an excellent weekend. Were you getting drunk on a horse? With this question pounding in my head, is a sweet person technically unsavoury? Ooh, that is a good linguistic little cul-de-sac snafu. Yes, I suppose they would be. Let me just mute my mic and blow my nose. Mute my mic and blow my nose. Da, 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 da. All right, we're good. Thanks, everyone. Right, let's get to some painting. Charlie Stack says, didn't get one of those alarms. Maybe they think trans people aren't worth a warning of emergencies, lol. Well, I didn't get it either. And as a non-binary person, that puts me in sort of the trans community. So, you never know. Would I put it past this government? No, I wouldn't. So there we go. Oh, and the eccentric lefty says, had my lovely chill hen party at the weekend and I've never felt so loved. That's wonderful news. I'm very glad for you. That is absolutely tremendous. It's funny. I should have woken up feeling very, very tired, but instead I just woke up feeling very loved. So yeah, it's good. And also just very Call Me Mug says, neither did I, under the trans umbrella too. Uh-oh. This is worrying. But yeah, yeah, just really jazzed about the hobby again. Well, I say again, still jazzed about the hobby, but there's something about going to Warhammer World and seeing some absolutely world-class paint jobs on miniatures that really makes me want to just push myself that bit further. So we're going to put some finishing touches on this. I also met a couple of the Warhammer team. I met M, the painting presenter, M Robinson, and I met Luke, who writes articles for Warhammer. It was very sweet, actually, because I tweeted a big picture of myself in front of the Rhino, and they took time out of their days to come say hello, which was really, really nice, and I appreciated very much. So, I'm probably going to have to do 2 coats of sepia, but excuse me, that was a gross noise. Aberrated says, hey Johnny, really glad to hear you went to Canal House. It was really nice to meet you at Warhammer World. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Honestly, it was bloody brilliant. Oh, Aiden says I read that 3 didn't broadcast the alert correctly. That explains it. That's my network. Yeah, mate, that pub is amazing. We only went for one before we got the train home yesterday, but I was instantly like, this place is brilliant. Like, I really want to come back here and have a proper evening there, because it's a rare crossover of being like a great boozer with a really great selection of beers, but also it's just so spacious, and there's a canal boat in it. It's, just there's a narrowboat just sort of in there, which is great fun. So, what I've done there is I've done a little sepia wash on this little banner, and then I'm going to try and freehand a tiny bit of text on there. And I've done a coat of apothecary white contrast, which is ever so slightly blue-grey, on that ribbon to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. T Fling says, did you buy anything cool? So here's the thing, right? We were going around the exhibit, and I already loved squigs, but I fell in love with squigs all over again. And I was like, they're just so brilliant. And I found myself wishing out loud, not for the first time, that before Christmas last year, I had bought the Stampeding Squigalanche box, which contains just bloody loads of squigs and is no longer available because it was only on sale for a brief period. And I was like, well, maybe I'll buy a Mangler squig when I get out of here. Because I think it's a model I'd really love to paint. And then I went and I saw that it was £55, and I was like, I don't know. And then I went back to our table in the cafe in Bugman's Bar, and I was talking to a friend. They were like, "Oh, didn't you buy the Mangler Squig?" And I was like, "Oh, I just don't know. Like, I really wish I bought that box." And I was like, "Maybe I'll check on eBay." And I looked on eBay, and there was an auction for one ending in 1 minute and 45 seconds. So I put a bid in, and I won it. And I paid less than the RRP for the box, which was great, because I've seen some of them on eBay. It's like, buy it now for like 250 quid. But I got it for, I saved £12 on the recommended retail price, which just felt weird. So basically, I've got a Gloomspike Gits army on the way. Oh dear. Alex Simpkin has done a super chat saying, "Thank you for your lovely streams and fantastic Ox Ventures in a very difficult year for me. P.S. Thank you for your advice last week for Star Wars 5e. No worries, I hope it came in handy. How did the space battle go? If indeed you have had it." Excuse me. I don't know why Lena Hansen says RRP, recommended retail price. Sorry. Yeah, it's a term for... I think, is it a UK specific term for basically how much things are meant to sell for? At least what the retailer would like you to charge for it in your shop. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. Shop. Any road. So yeah, it was a bloody good weekend, and I'm in a good mood. So that's nice. Even if I seem to be a bit bunged up, and I don't know why. Zega Genesis says, it's the MSRP in the US. Oh. Nice Rich says, it's pronounced ERP. Sorry. I didn't realise. I got some money off the ERP. Wyatt ERP. It was a crap joke, wasn't it? Need to put some water in this pale sand. Oh no, my palette's not even on show. There we go. Now you can see I'm painting with pale sand. B Reynolds 376 says, "Oh Johnny, I ran my first game of Blaze in the Dark last night. It was a ton of fun." Ah, tremendous. I hope it went well. It's so good, that. I do love that game very, very much. Kayla Evie says, "First live stream. Don't usually watch the painting streams, but maybe I'll go back to them after I'm done binging old gaming streams." It's up to you, really. Like, especially since, including Preston Chiodini, I put out somewhere between 7 and 10 hours of video a week. I don't want anyone ever to feel like they have to watch everything. So if you don't fancy watching the painting, you absolutely don't have to watch it. That's the beauty of YouTube / having free will, is you are free to choose. Fuck that up. Choose what you watch. That was a lip. That wasn't a tooth. So yeah, I don't know. Like, basically, I would say these are ostensibly painting streams. They are mostly me talking nonsense streams. Well, us talking nonsense. What am I saying? Chat gets involved with great gusto. So the painting is kind of an incidental part, I like to think. Especially since I fucked up this bit of painting quite badly. Let's flood it with water. Ooh, B Reynolds 376 says, "My Scoundrels decided to be a cult, which introduces some wild elder stuff I can do." I have never, ever, ever had a group not pick shadows, which I can respect, but also I've really wanted to explore some of the other ones in the past. But hey-ho, it's all right. Aaron Payne says on a super chat saying, "Canal boat home here. It's amazing, so Hobbit-like. Went to Ren Fair. Your vid's really helping with the mental gremlins. Thanks so much for being you." Oh, thank you very much, Aaron. That's really lovely. I've never done a Ren Fair. They seem like fun, especially since some of them... Well, people seem to love doing a stealth Star Trek cosplay at Ren Fairs, which is quite funny. I mean, to each their own, really, right? Manuel Rivero says, "Just caught the conversation now. Sorry if this was asked, but any chance we could get more videos like Pose the Raven?" I'd be up for doing more sort of reading stuff that's in the public domain. in the future. The thing is, it's like I sort of did that as a bit of fun for Halloween, and it was actually quite nerve-wracking. Not because I don't trust myself to get through a poem, but more that I was worried it would make me seem like a tosser who really likes the sound of their own voice and was like, I'm going to put out a recording of The Raven, and it's going to be amazing, and everyone's going to love me and it. Because that's my worst nightmare. So, basically, yes, but on my terms. Thonian Camera Shade. Oh, yeah, that'll do. So yes, watch this space, basically, but I don't have anything particularly planned at the moment. Butterscotch has done a super chat saying, talking nonsense is my middle name. Butter nonsense Scotch. No, butter talking nonsense Scotch. Delightful. I'm going to blow my nose again. Sorry, just give me a sec. I don't know where that's come from. I sort of... Because I went on a 2-hour walk with the dog and I didn't get hay fever, but for some reason I've sat down here and I'm off. Maybe I need to dust in here. Anon says, tosser that loves the sound of their own voice. Just wear your cowboy hat all the way back and embrace the stereotype fully. Yeah, can I borrow £3,000? Yeah, oh, that cowboy hat. I love it, but oh dear. Go For It Painting says, hello. Hello, Go For It Painting. How are you doing? I am painting some, I like to call them Imperial Nobz. These are Black Orcs pretending to be Imperial Nobility. So I'm going to run them as Imperial Nobility. But basically I've painted an entire team just for the sake of one okay pun. Lena Hansen says, the Swedish word orc means energy to do things with any kind of effort. And I've made that into a joke with a German friend. Gotta chase some tiny orcs and put it in a jar. I love that that means energy to do things with any kind of effort. That's tremendous. Right, let's stop messing around with that. So, I've only got a few little bits to do on these two models before we start completely painting a couple more Imperial Nobz from the start. I want to do more Seraphim Sepia on this banner and then detail it. I want to do some very final highlights on the skin, and I've got to layer up the leather, and then we're done, basically. So what I'll do... Zero Summation says, this orc, might I say, has magnificent plumage. Thank you. That's all part of the Imperial Nobility stuff. I picked up a lot, because basically, the Imperial Nobility and the orcs, Black Orcs, I should say, are part of the starter set for the latest edition of Blood Bowl. So loads and loads of people have put the teams on eBay dirt cheap, because they want to run a different team, but they bought the box because they wanted all of the... they wanted the pitch and the dice and all the gubbins, which means, basically, I was able to get loads of them for cheap, and I've cannibalized them. I've kitbashed them together, so I've got all these orcs that look like Imperial Nobility, but now I've got loads and loads and loads and loads of human models, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I want to kitbash them into a different team. I looked for inspiration online. I saw somebody turn them into like a vampire team, which I thought was very cool. But yeah, I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them, but still. That's why they have magnificent plumage anyway. Thank you, David Attenborough, for your contribution to chat. Here's a question for you, chat, because I think they've said that David Attenborough's next season is going to be his last, and then he might sort of finally retire. If you could pick anyone in the world to become like the standard nature documentary narrator, who would it be and why? For example, is it Benedict Cumberbatch because of the way he doesn't say penguins? Is it Morgan Freeman because we're kind of used to him as a voiceover, etc., etc.? Let me know. Who would you pick? Matt Berry. Oh, that's strong. These wildebeest are waiting to go in the war tier and cross, but oh no, here comes a crocodile. I can't do Matt Berry, seemingly. Oh well. Anonymous as nature narrator, Johnny Chiodini. Oh, I don't know about that. What would I do when they had to, when the program had to feature whales? I'd be like, here's a, oh god, it's a humpback whale, and it migrates every year to warmer waters. It just wouldn't be good, you know. Naka says Ardal O'Hanlon. Who's Ardal O'Hanlon? I don't know who that is. Kenyan1212 says, thanks for the streams, Johnny. Always a great way to ease into Monday workday. You're very welcome. This is my Monday workday, basically. And I get a real kick out of doing it. Welcome everybody to Non-Binary Person. Look through a box of paints, trying to find a paint. Today we're after Nuln Oil. Got it. Yeah, no, you're very welcome, Kenyan, and thank you for the super chat. It's very kind. Shaw's the Great and Powerful, aka P. Noctum, says David Tennant, solely because he narrated a nature documentary several years back, and it was lovely to hear his voice. Oh yeah, I could get down with that. Who was it who did Walking with Dinosaurs? It was Kenneth Branagh, wasn't it? Jules Winkler says, hi Johnny, after a few crap weeks, it's really nice to catch a stream again. Hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. I'm sorry you've been having a crap time. I hope things start looking up soon, and yeah, welcome aboard. It's very nice to have you here. James Withaby has done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, just painted my first Space Marine ever, and now planning an army once I feel better about my skills. Thanks for being an inspiration. Well done you for taking the plunge, quite frankly. I'm very glad that you're in the hobby, basically. Welcome aboard. I hope you're happy with your Space Marine. And even if you feel like there are things you don't know, or things like you could improve on, or things you want to learn, feel good about what you've done now, because that's the best model you've ever painted. If it is indeed your first ever model. Your first Space Marine ever. Right, it's the best Space Marine you've ever painted. And now you can get out there and do a better one. And then a better one. And then a better one. And as many as you like, really. But you should always be proud of that first Space Marine. And indeed, all the other ones. You hear me? Cash2 Chowan's in chat. Hello. I really hope I got your first name right. I remember your surname is pronounced Chowan. Koshtube. Is it Koshtube? Anyway, you're in chat. Hey everyone, and Johnny catching up live after a long time. Life being life. Johnny, you still playing Marvel Snap? Give me some deck recommendations, please. Hi, welcome back. It's lovely to see you. I hope you've been well. I am still playing Marvel Snap. Not as much as I have been. I kind of go through spates of playing it and then ignoring it a little bit. I'm not sure I can give you many deck recommendations. I'm not very far through. But at the minute I'm playing a deck that's all about sort of movement. So it's like Miles Morales, and that looks awful. Oh no, I'm going to have to fix that. Miles Morales and like Vulture and all that kind of stuff. Flood it with water? Doesn't work. Do we just leave it? Yes. Naka says, I can see Rowan Atkinson doing a pretty good job of narration. The thing is, this thing is, I think Stephen Fry and Ron Atkinson, for me, Anywhere Owed, are just too closely associated with comedy. And I don't think I could take it seriously, like... It would just be like, Ron Atkinson's there being like, the rainforest burns down and all the animals perish. Like, I couldn't do it. Anyway. Right, a bit more Null Noil on here, I think. I'm going to want to dirty this up a bit. But we're getting there. In fact, what I'm going to do is let's do some work on the leather, and then we'll finally do the skins. And then we'll start some fresh ones, which would be nice. It's good to be hobbying. Is anyone hobbying along today? If so, what are you working on? And if not, that's fine too. Don't even worry about it. Thing about hobbies is you do it when you can and when you want to. Faye Given says, playing Animal Crossing. Hell yeah. So good. B Reynolds 376 is doing the bases on my current Necron army. Lovely. Anonymous is polishing off dinner. That is an excellent hobby to have. What else we got? Lucas says, working on a synopsis for my game script and also dragging little sprites. Lovely. Was that drawing little sprites? You could be dragging them also. Scott Perkins says, I'm going to get started on assembling Cursed City again. Oof, I really wish I hadn't run out of enthusiasm for Cursed City, but goodness me, I did. I went from being so excited and painting lots of it to just knowing I'll never touch it. It was just, yeah, the launch did not go so well, and it really killed my enthusiasm, unfortunately. But hey-ho. It's a shame, because the miniatures are just so cool, but so it goes. Ooh, Lemon1087 says, second day of Dredge. Lovely. What a game. Ooh, Scarecrow Boat 87 says, I'm working on a 2,000 point Dark Angels army after playing my first 40k game yesterday. Lovely. How was the game? Did you have a nice time? I assume so, because you're working on a 2,000 point army. But, it helps to check, doesn't it? Lou Jones is in chat and says, hello, oh my god, I consumed Dredge over the weekend, brackets, or did it consume me? Ooh. It's really great, isn't it? I like it an awful lot. It's not something I say very often, but honestly, I would have appreciated more of a grind in that game. I felt like I was able to get through it very, very quickly, narratively. But looking at all of the upgrades and stuff, there was so much for me left to do and get. But sort of by the time, obviously I won't say any spoilers, but by the time I rolled credits on the game, I felt like I personally was sort of like happy to leave it there. So I feel like I missed a lot. I don't know. Happy Bob says, I'm in the endgame of Dredge, but want to finish catching all the fish first. I have like 5 left for the encyclopedia. There you go. See, that's the smart way of doing it, is to recognise that you're near the end. There are regions I didn't even drop a crab pot in, What's the world coming to? Eh? When a fisher person won't even drop their crab pot in certain regions. Behave, behave, behave. I can already hear you typing, all of you. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. Lou says, yeah, defo, there was so much left to upgrade. I'd be very happy for more. Yep. Anyway, we're going to keep layering up this leather now. Lou Jones says, Dredge TTRPG when? Oh my god, that'd be lovely. I mean, I think that's just Call of Cthulhu with hacked-in fishing mechanics, to be honest. But I'd play it. Are you kidding? Or it's the Sea of Thieves RPG with some real horror tacked on, rather. Hacked in there. Weekend Minis is on a super chat saying, good morning, Johnny. I showed my wife last week's stream where I asked about if we were vampires. We were both so thrilled that you liked it. If we were vampires, sorry. Good morning, Johnny. I showed my wife last week's stream where I asked you about if we were vampires. We're both so thrilled that you liked it. It's good. Can't complain. It's a good track. Incidentally, I'm currently listening to the new Bell Witch album because last week, Bell Witch, one of my favourite bands, just went, oh, we're dropping an album on Friday, by the way. And I went, pardon? But then I was very busy over the weekend, so I didn't get to listen to it because it is one song. This album is 1 hour and 23 minutes long, and it's one very doomy song. But I listened to it for the first time earlier. Now I'm on my second run through at this very moment in my right ear. And it's good. I just like doom metal quite a lot. Because, like, oftentimes they go like, blah, 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 like they're all monks. And very often they go like, with their guitars. And then occasionally they go like, like they're trying to scare children. And it's all together. It's great. It's very good. It's a great ensemble. Lovely package. And the drums are very good. And the other instruments are good. What I'm trying to say here, everybody, is that when music is done well, it's very good. You know? Lucy says, I'm considering starting again to get the narrative better and not let the cloaked people starve, but I doubt my ability to remember where they were will get better. I finally went back to the first one, having caught snake mackerel or something like that, and I was too late, which made me sad. But by that point, it happens with me in games where like there reaches a tipping point where I'm like, I feel satisfied by this experience enough that I am happy to just push on through, rather than, you know, starting again or exploring too much more stuff. So, you know, anyway, Dredge, very good video game. Very nice. I'm also really pleased. I haven't actually spoken to Aoife about it, but Aoife from Eurogamer has streamed it a lot, like streamed the whole thing, which I think is a key indicator that she had a good time with it, which makes me very happy. Dark Absol Writer says, someone give me the motivation to finish my college assignment. Only need 75 words, ors. Well, hang on a minute. Someone give me the motivation to finish my college assignment. Only need 75 words. Well, that was 14 words. So all you need to do is sort of keep at it. Like, you wrote those 14 words pretty quick. No, I'm being slightly facetious. You've got this, Dark Absol Writer. Just imagine how good you're going to feel when it's done. And you're so near the finish line now. You can absolutely smash this out. I am certain. Catherine Mason says, might be an idea to feed the cloak people after you found where most of the fish are. Yes, I learned that the hard way, unfortunately. I'm not in a great rush to replay Dredge, but I might. I might go back to it when the summer insomnia kicks in. And I'm just up a lot. Who knows? Can't wait for that to happen. Right, I think that's a decent amount of layering there. So what I'm going to do is add some lighter brown in, and then we'll paint that in as well. What a fascinating modern age we live in. Neko the Kitty says, hi Johnny LSPs, would love to watch the stream, but just recovering from an endoscopy this morning, so we'll catch this on VOD. Yeah, you go rest. Those things are no joke. I hope you're feeling okay. Catch you very soon. There we go, that's a slightly lighter brown. There we go, that's a good colour. Yeah, right. Yeah, that'll work. Ooh, Britt Kelly says, so my birthday is coming up. Pretty sure I'm going to get Aeronautica Imperialis. Let's go Orc Jet. If I were to play that game, I would 100% go for the Orcs. Their jets are just so fun. And also, I just love the lore that, like, the Orc tech works solely on faith. Where they're like, big engine, so it'll probably go, or like we've put more bits on it, so it'll probably fly faster, and it does because that's just what they believe. It's just absolutely tremendous. I've only ever seen Aeronautica Imperialis being played once. For anyone who's not sure what it is, it's a Games Workshop game where they have there are miniature versions of different aircraft from different factions in Warhammer that, typically speaking, don't get much of a look in games like 40k because, well, it's predominantly a ground-based game. But it's a dogfighting game, so you go up in the sky, daka, daka, daka. There's a lot of shooting and a lot of falling out of said sky. The only thing that gave me pause, right, was when I saw this game being played. I didn't talk to the people who were playing it because they were busy and I was playing Warcry, I think, on the other side of the room. But it looked like the board was just like a big piece of paper. And I was a bit like, is that what comes in the base set? Is that unofficial? Like, it looked really flimsy, and it made me worry a bit about the amount of effort that has or hasn't been put into the components of the game. Is there anyone here who has played Imperialis and can tell me more about the boards? Because, like, I'm definitely intrigued by it, but it doesn't send a great message. Stephen Roger Benson says, yeah, there is no terrain. Oh, and I know there's no terrain because there's the sky, but it's more... I was expecting it to at least be like folding cardboard, like the pitch for Blood Bowl. But this just looked like a folded sheet of paper. It looked really flimsy. Root -1 says, is it a bit like X-Wing but for the Warhammer universe? Exactly that, yes. Oh, it's Benny42's birthday. Congratulations, Benny42. Happy birthday. That's another trip around the sun, isn't it? Stephen says, I think it is a cardboard board. You certainly could get quite chunky boards. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what I saw them playing on them because it looked really... It looked like a map you'd get in a theme park, you know? So that's good news, at least. Anyway, that's my exciting take on cardboard versus paper. Good times had by all. Oh, I need a bit of water, actually. Right. What's that layer done? Have I done that one? No, not yet. Right. Oh. Are you staying hydrated? How much water have you had today? Because I can tell you, I have not had enough. Especially since I take selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, aka antidepressants, which make me more susceptible to dehydration. So in the spring and summer, I find it very hard to stay hydrated, especially since one of the side effects of my medication is that I sweat loads in the night, which is annoying, but also means I wake up feeling like a very good-looking raisin. So, basically what I'm saying is, drink some water, especially if you, like me, take a lot of SSRIs. Goodness me. Right. Excuse me. Garena Rain says drinks half of her untouched drink. Yes, there we go. Lucas says I accidentally bought a 3-litre water bottle. It is massive and I love it. That sounds great. Katie Warren says, I didn't know SSRIs did that. That explains a lot. I didn't know this either. I literally found out last summer. And to put it into perspective, I've, in the last, how many years? One of them in 2012. I was off. In the last 11 years, I have spent 9 of them taking SSRIs. And I only found out about the dehydration thing last year. Wild. Absolutely wild. To be honest with you, it wasn't as much of a problem for a lot of those years because I was on a lower dosage, but now I've found the right dosage for me, which incidentally is a very high one. I just get dehydrated all the time. Are you kidding? Love to feel awful. That's why I take the meds. Anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is, have you had enough water? Now let's move on to, how's your posture? Are you gonna have a sore back later because of how you're sitting now? The greatest gift you can give yourself in the future is fixing that problem this minute. Not to be everyone's non-binary parent about it, but I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Right, yep, Thury Weaver is also having that revelation. It's bananas. Like, I get that, obviously, they're not going to sit you down when you get prescribed something and talk through every single side effect, because that would terrify people. And also, for a lot of people, it's not medically relevant, because they wouldn't get those side effects. Everyone is different, etc., etc., but I feel like the dehydration thing is A, common enough, and B, is of a genuine concern in the hotter months enough that they should talk about it. But anyway, Cody Wilson is on Super Chat saying, love the posture checks, I struggle with that. Me too. I slouch a lot. Someone took a picture of me last week, I think, and shared it because we were somewhere nice. And, well, how did I put it? Oh, I said I looked like a sad, divorced orangutan. Because I did. I was just sat there like, bleh. Yeah, and this is how I looked. So there we go. Wraith Finds, it's such a good username, and it always hits me. Wraith Finds is on the super chat saying, what did Gimli say to Legolas when the Uruk-hai marched on Helm's Deep? Well, that's awkward. Very good. I hated what they did to Gimli and Legolas in those films. They turned them into the comic relief when they aren't. It's a journey of developing mutual respect. And sure, healthy competition, but healthy competition within the confines of being like, ordinarily this would be such a bitter thing because of culturally how we're predisposed to hate one another. But I'm actually cheering for you. At the end, they're like, because right in the books, this is something they don't fucking talk about in well, that isn't in the films. In the books, there's a good chunk of that of the Battle of Helm's Deep where you just think Gimli's dead. It just seems like Gimli is dead, and then Gimli emerges with like a black eye, and it's like, oh, that was close. And then Legolas is like, oh, thank God. And like they are cheering one another on rather than being like, I was 16. Shut up, Orlando Bloom. And then fucking John Rhys Davies, who's a whole other kettle of fish in terms of shut the fuck up, man. It's like, it's like, come on. I love those films. I love them. But they did Boromir dirty and they do Legolas and Gimli dirty. There, I said it. I'm not afraid anymore. Come at me, New Line Cinema. Stephen Roger Benson says, did Boromir dirty? In what way? Well, they make him more of a villain and much more avaricious. Because, right, in the film, he's like, it is a gift. And he's like, fuck off, Aragorn. Gondor has no king. Gondor needs no king. In the books, he does go, it's a gift. Why don't we use this? Right? He's like, why don't we use this? And Aragorn, I think it's Aragorn, someone is like, no mortal can resist this thing. It is supreme evil. You cannot use it. That way only lies death. Right? And Boromir goes, oh, fuck. Oh, that sounds bad. No, we should destroy this thing. Whereas in the books, he's like, well, I don't know about that. Not sure about that. Gondor doesn't need a king. Also, I mean, in the films, Aragorn's like, oh, I'm so reluctant. In the books, he's like, I am. Oh, I cannot wait to ascend the throne. Like, he's jazzed about it. But Boromir is like, oh, you're Aragorn, son of Arathorn. Fucking too right, mate. Jesus Christ, you're brilliant. Like, he's not het up about it at all. He's like, oh, see, sweet. You're a Isildur's heir. Okay, great. And also, later on, he's less like, none of us should wander alone. Like, oh, what a lovely thing you've got, Frodo. Come here. Like, he is actively trying to resist it. And he is tortured by it. There are bits where... There's a bit where I believe Sam watches Boromir paddling one of the canoes down the river after leaving Lothlorien. And Boromir is, like, staring at Frodo, and he's like, and he's really... Like, at one point, he starts paddling his boat closer and closer because he wants to get close to Frodo in the ring. And then he's like, and he's fighting against it. Like, he's tormented. Whereas, like, I just feel like that doesn't come across well enough. Like, he goes after Frodo, and then Frodo gets away, and he's like, Frodo? And he looks sad and ashamed. But that doesn't feel like it's enough, you know? Like, that feels like too little too late. They basically undercut his not mental state or whatever. Lou Jones says, I have really upbeat Loz background music playing behind this very sad retelling, just so you know. I expect nothing less, Lou. I expect nothing less. But anyway, Boromir's fucking great. Boromir's absolutely wonderful. Like, he's like... I mean, Sean Bean is amazing. Sean Bean's amazing anyway, and is tremendous at sword fighting and all that kind of stuff. But, like, it's really funny to read Lord of the Rings and be like, oh, Boromir's the tank. Like, Boromir's, like, well over 6 foot tall, and he's got a fucking massive shield. And, like, when they're trying to make their way up the mountains, like the Caradhras, I think? Anyway, when they're trying to get over the mountain... They're like, fucking hell, this is hard to get through. Boromir's like, hold on. And he just goes like, bah, and gets his shield out and becomes a snowplow. It's like, just hoons it, you know? Zachary Smith says, do you think they did that to Boromir in the movies just because of the limited space they have for character building, though? Yeah, to an extent. But, like, I just think they made him too bratty. Too bratty. Oh, they've revealed a new Tyrannid model, and I can't say I care for it. Sorry, one of my friends has messaged me about it. Zega Genesis says the extended edition does flesh him out. I don't think I've seen all the extended editions all the way through, you know. Just a little fact about me. Anyway, I'm layering up this leather, and it's going quite well. I think what I'm going to do is one final highlight with it. And there we go. Emma Benton says, I would say we could have a watch party, but then we'd be here for days. Yeah, we would. Also, like, I've cried a few times on this channel as it is. You don't need to see that again. Haiku Rai says, I wish Wheel of Time ever became nearly as iconic as Lord of the Rings so I could be the Stephen Colbert-esque nerd encyclopedia that has some fringe relevance. Yeah. There's just so many of those books. I'm reluctant to start. I was talking to one of my friends. He's on like book 10, 12. And he was like, I'm going to finish them because I'm this close. But it just feels like such an undertaking, you know? Right. Do some final little deets on here. Just to the bits where it's really crimpled up? Sure, crimpled. Why not? That's a fun word to invent. Nope. Ah, crumpled and crinkled. That'll be how that unholy little thing spawned. Zachary Smith says, I got to the last Wheel of Time and just couldn't get through it. Well, Brandon Sanderson finished that series, right? Is it notable that it's a different author? Because he is prolific. And I don't know how obvious it is that it's him behind the wheel. Oh, sorry. Haiku Rai says it's cringe-worthily noticeable and he ruined the end. Oh no. I have some do I have issues with Brandon Sanderson? No, not really, but like he has a tendency to pull the scope out in his works in a way that makes me lose interest. Like the Stormlight Archive has some of the best, like some of the most exciting fantasy I've ever read in the first two books. Like lovely personal stories, even though that, you know, a lot of the characters are globally important and have massive responsibilities, it still feels like a very intimate story. And then come book 3, the scale pulls out until these characters are running a war on a planetary scale. And I'm just like, well, I don't need to hear about all of that. So I know there's one that came out a couple of years ago now, and I haven't read it. But, you know. Chemistry Krang, that's a very good username, has given us an unrelated book recommendation, A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Really fun, positive, inclusive sci-fi. Recommend the audiobook too. That sounds good. Why does Becky Chambers ring a bell? Let me have a look. Becky Chambers. I'm reading a book called Banana Beach, I think. No, Monkey Beach. Which is written by First Peoples author. and it's very, very good. To be taught in fortune. No, I've not read any Becky Chambers books before. But, interesting. Chemistry Krang says, my socks match my hat. Oh, is that because you're talking about Terry Pratchett? Sorry, I looked away for a moment to Google something. Right. Oh, I'm quite pleased with how the highlighting of that glove has gone. I'm really trying to just focus more on what I'm doing while I paint at the moment. And I don't always come away happy with what I've done, but all in all, I'm learning some valuable things, and that makes me happy. Oops. It's also just nice to slow down. If you've seen previous painting streams, you'll know that we've been going, nearly an hour. I could have done most of a model in that time. But I've really taken pleasure in slowing my roll a bit lately. And just being a bit more careful with stuff. Oh no! Oh, PJ Buck has done a super chat saying, chilling to the sound of another chill stream while I rush to recreate some deleted files. Wee! PJ, I'm sorry. That's never not a nightmare. Oh god. You have my utmost sympathies. I hope it goes okay. And then PJ's done a purple heart emoji, a black one, a white one, and a yellow one, and says, BNB down with capitalism. Fucking A. I wish I could go back in time and find the person who first told me that I'd get more conservative as I got older. Because, lol. Right, hang on. Davy Jones says, speaking of books, I'm doing an annual reading challenge, and one of the prompts is a book about indigenous food or cooking. Any recommendations? I would say, well, it's more... It depends on like your definition of indigenous, because I guess this would be more about... It's more about being a second or third generation immigrant to a country, but still having the first generation family members being around and still cooking, and food being important to the family. Basically, there's a book by Mia P. Manansala called Arsenic and Adobo, and it is like it's weird. It's a cozy murder mystery. Like, cozy is a genre I didn't really know about, but like cozy reads are just like, even when someone's been like murdered in this book and they're trying to work out who done it, they have periods where like they all stop and they're like, oh, they're all so tired, but someone brings out a tray of fresh baked cookies and they eat the cookies and they're like, the way this ingredient mixes with the, you know, the spices in the base and all that kind of stuff, it's very like, it's all about the senses, but also it's about exploring the roots of a particular cuisine and culturally what that means. So, like, let me get this right. I think the food in particular is Filipino. like so they're Filipino characters, and that's a culture that's very much depicted in the book, and presumably rings true in real life, that it's a culture that's very heavily based around like food and feeding people and being nourishing and all that kind of stuff. And it's a really good read. Like, can recommend. I don't know if that fits the bill for the reading challenge, but still would recommend. Root -1 says, thanks for the Gentleman Bastard sequence of recommendations. I'm absolutely loving the Lives of Locke Lamora. I'm glad. That book is just so good. I haven't read it in a very long time, because I've read it about 4 or 5 times now, but it's still just so good. That whole series. I hope the next ones do see the light of day sometime. But Lucy says, could you please give the book title again? Yeah, it's Arsenic and Adobo. So ARSNEIC and Adobo, ADOBO. It's good fun. The protagonist is very, like, I was about to say millennial. They almost certainly aren't, are they? They're probably like Gen Z, but like, it's just very good. And there's a whole series of them. I stopped after the first one because I was like, I think that was lovely, but one's good for me. But yeah, can recommend. Adan says, does anyone have any recommendations for supernatural horror novels? What did I read recently? Hang on. One sec. Oi! What have I read? No. Could have sworn I read something about ghosts quite recently. No, I did not. I read Hungry Ghosts, but that's not really about ghosts. What the hell? I really thought I'd read something like very recently about ghosts, but there's nothing. Sorry, I'm a nerd and I write down every book I read. No, I can't help you. Seemingly. What was that one about? Nope. Oh, I read Pine by Francine Toon, but that that may not be for everyone. I don't know. Not sure. But yeah, sorry. Chat, take the wheel. Do you have any book recommendations specifically for Ghost? What am I saying? What the fuck am I saying? Of course. It's not out yet, but Grave Expectations by Alice Bell. Alice Bell's a good friend of mine and was good enough to send me an uncorrected proof of her novel, which I've got here. It's fucking great. Grave Expectations by Alice Bell, coming out in May. This book. Pre-order it. Knew I'd read something supernatural. Whoopsie dups. Aiden says that's a journo's handwriting. Thank you very much. Oh, that was annoying. Well done, Johnny. Root -1 says, why is it not on your list then, Johnny? It is! Where's my notebook gone? Where the fuck did I put the notebook? It is on the list. It's on there. Grave Expectations by Alice Bell. Written down in a book that I own, that I had on me. Ghosts? What the fuck? Well, I don't know where that's gone. Oh, there it is. Repercussion says, I take it grave is a pun. It is, look. where's it gone? I read it late last year. Arsenic in a Dobo. What the fuck? No, I did write it down. Oh, I'm scaring myself now. Oh, there we go. Grave Expectations, Alice Bell. There it is. Good, good, good. Fucking hell. Oh, all right. Serenity Moon, 1976 says, book's haunted, mate. I think it is. Right. Sorry about that. I had a minor existential crisis, but I'm good now. Right. Couple of very final highlights I want to make. In fact, I'm going to push it a little bit further. Kara Cox says, hey Johnny, sorry I haven't caught the stream in a while, been busy, but hopefully I can catch more now because I quit my toxic job and I'm moving to Finland for my masters. Wow, that's a lot of news, but that all sounds very positive. Congratulations. I'm sorry about the toxic job, but that sounds like moving to Finland and doing a masters sounds absolutely bloody brilliant. So congratulations, good on you. Aubrey Murray says, just pre-ordered Alice's book. It's coming out in September here in the States. Yes. Good, 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 good. Is that the right colour? Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, that's quite potent. Right. Final little highlights. Shall we? So I want to do little highlights on the cheekbones of these orcs. Right on the crease of the elbow. I think it is just more of a face highlight, isn't it? Yes, it is. Apart from this little vein that's popping on this orc's arm. Okay, Oliver says just pre-ordered too. Maybe we should start a Skelly Pals book club. I mean, there is, in fairness, on the Discord, a Books channel, which is pretty active. Where people talk a lot about the Locked Tomb series, it feels like. Oh, that's a tempting line to... Yeah, let's add a tiny highlight in there. It's never good when I start whispering to the models. The plastic models that I'm painting, I mean, not literal models. I don't whisper to models. That would be bizarre behaviour and quite intrusive. At any rate. Well, that's too much water in that paint, isn't it? Oh well. Brighten up those teeth a tiny bit. Alrighty. I'm quite happy with that. And with the leather. In fact, oh, I've overdone it on that bit. Oh well. Yeah. It'll do. We've got 16 of these bastards to paint, so that'll do. I'm just going to do two last things. I'm going to paint these feathers very quickly, but that's a really quick and easy job. And I'm going to do a tiny little highlight on a couple of these bits of bow. Okay, cool. Right, that one's done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the 6th model I've done of this lot, which would be nice. Oh, Will's in chat. Hello, Will. How long have you been lurking? Am I just not paying much attention today? Did you hear that? Please tell me you heard that, because that was Watson's bum. That was a real, like, beep. Goodness me. Zega Genesis has done a super chat saying, if we're crowdsourcing book recommendations, anyone know of a good female-led urban fantasy that doesn't involve her choosing between two hot men? Oh, fuck, what's it called? What's it fucking called? Okay, so it's set in a city, but it's not. It's not contemporary. It's not set in the modern day. It's set in the year 1893, but it's called The Once and Future Witches, and it is basically female-led magic meets the suffrage movement. Like, just good feminist witch fiction. It's like, it's really great. It's really, really, really good. And it doesn't involve her choosing between two hot men. Hang on. Did anyone... Yeah, Will said that sounded too much like a fart to be a real fart. It was Watson's bum. It was Watson's bum, I promise. Yeah, The Once and Future Witches is absolutely brilliant. Will says, Johnny told me to read it, and then I got halfway through it and then texted them to tell them to read it. See, it's that good. Very good. So, feathers. They're quite easy to do, really. You just use a contrast paint. And then I'll shade the very top a bit later when it's dry. Because no one said that good techniques also had to be complicated or hard. Well, that's it for a bit. Great. Will says Hex by Jenny Fagan. Is that the one about the app that tracks the spirit, the ghost? Will? Because if so, I want to talk to you about that. Well, I can find it. I'll find out myself, actually. Is it that one? What other books have I read? When did I read Hex? It will have been... It's pre-pandemic. No, says Will. Oh no, the one I read was by Thomas Oldhoovelt. Right. Well, that one sounds better. Hex by Jenny Fagan. Basically, the other Hex... I don't know, it didn't quite live up to... Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh, book recommendations are nice, aren't they? Right, sorry. Zaggy Genesis says, if anyone has the same thing with vampires, you all get bonus points. What vampire book did I read recently? There's one by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I think she's brilliant. So, Will says, I've heard good things about the Manning Tree Witches, but I've not read it. I've read it! Let me Google it and remind myself. Because I read several books that weren't dissimilar very quick. Oh, yeah, no, it's dead good. Obviously brutal, but it's really good. Can recommend. Right. Anyway, let's start two new Imperial Nobz. Look at these grey motherfuckers. Let's turn them into not grey motherfuckers. How do we do that? Well, we start by painting their legs yellow. In fact, I need a bigger brush. You're gonna need a bigger brush. Neat. Oh, it's nice to just talk books, isn't it? WizBoom88 says, Johnny, are these Games Workshop models or proxy sculpts? These are Games Workshop models that I have heavily kitbashed. So this is a Black Orc team. I've filed off all of the spikes. I've removed all of the weird belts and hooks and stuff. I have sculpted trousers for them. I've sculpted these like slashed or pleated trousers for them, and like the shields on their backs and the purity seals with the little dangly bits. So yeah, they are GW models. I'm confident I could play them at Warhammer World and not have to worry, but they are certainly non-standard. I'll put it that way. It was a surprising amount of work for just an okay pun. But then sometimes it's funny to just really overdo something because you feel like it. Jules Winkler says, how long have you been painting miniatures? I have been painting miniatures since 2017, when I got into it for the first time. Well, I tried it when I was a child, but I was bad at it, so I was quickly disillusioned. But yeah, 2017 is when I got into the hobby, as it were. And it's very nice. Right. When I started, I did not really see myself, falling madly in love with the sports game that Games Workshop does, or hand sculpting custom trousers. And yet here we are. It was very funny, actually. On Friday night, we got our tables at 5 p.m. We started playing Blood Bowl. A lot of us hadn't seen each other in ages, so it took us quite a long time to set up because we were sort of having a beer. But at one point during the evening, one of my friends just sat up and went, oh my God, are we the jocks? Because we were just basically smashing in some lovely beers and yelling about sport. It was very odd. We also have a running joke in the league whereby if a player dies in the middle of a game, because that can happen, we all stop and we all stand up and we put our hands on our hearts and we play sad music, which is very funny. But can be quite disruptive, I guess, if people are suddenly like, why are there 10 very masked people standing there listening to sad music with their hands on their hearts, staring at a board game? It happened 5 times. No, 6. 6. We had 6 deaths over the course of one evening, which is unprecedented. One of my Norse players, well, my Yeti actually, killed an orc. 2 Imperial Nobz died playing against Black Orcs, and 3 vampires got killed in the one turn by halflings. I'm not even joking. If you don't know about Blood Bowl, all you should know is that is statistically very unlikely and very, very funny. So yeah, we were just up and down out of our seats, just sending off dead plastic models. It was great. Remy K says, wait, now I'm calling a bluff. Halflings got kills. They killed 3 vampires. It was in a game of 7s. They killed 3 vampires in one turn. We were all baffled ourselves, but there were witnesses. Honestly, witnesses. It was phenomenal. It was incredible. And sad. But it wasn't a league match, so that's fine. But yeah, it was at that point we were like, are we genuinely the jocks that are of Warhammer World right now? But then some other people started yelling, so we felt okay about it. Naka says, no vampires left to witness, I guess, though. 1. Haiku Rai says, what do you do to bury a vampire? Like putting them in a coffin would be like putting them in bed. Well, you put them in a bed, don't you? You just have to put them in an actual bed. It's only fair. Right, let's keep going. Another coat of yellow on these trousers. And that bit which is technically flesh, but I won't tell if you won't. Oh, that's fair. Will says crossroad with a brick in their mouth traditionally. Yes. Forgot about that. That old burial custom. Emma Benton says put them in bed and then bury them in concrete. Also viable. Alex Simpkin has done a super chat saying, random thought about Oxventure extinction. Does Professor Hammerdal have a Site B where the dinosaurs can roam free? I'm not telling. No. No, he doesn't. It's possible that could be introduced into canon. But currently, no. But then, no. Olivia Farrell says, I like how the crab is out of sight this time. Probably doing crabby things off screen. The crab, I still haven't painted the crab. But the crab is just here. Crabbing along. Or crabbing sideways, I suppose. Can sideways still be along? Ooh, Will says, I think it might be time to Death Guard. Yes, please, Will, get on it. Right. Trousers. Always make sure that your models are well stuck to your bases, everybody. That's quite an important part of hobbying. Dylan Armadak says, also just in case it works, the bear. No! Absolutely not. Haywire has done a super chat. There is no message attached to the super chat. Haywire, if that was a mistake, just type normally. Oh, yeah, there we go. Haywire has done a super chat saying, worth mentioning on the subject of vampires, if you're faced with a French vampire, you need to stab them in the heart with a baguette. It sounds straightforward, but trust me, it is very painstaking. I really liked it. I really liked that one. Really enjoyed it. Well done. Thank you, Haywire. That's absolutely tremendous. Right. I'm sick of this model coming off its base. I hope I say this right. Kalle Liestrom? I'm very sorry. Has done a super chat saying, I bought the Legionnaires kill team because the Reaper chain cannon is so darn cool. Regretting my choice already. I hate painting chaos. Listening to the stream helps, though. I'm sorry, there's nothing worse than a project that feels like a real slog, but I'm glad that this is helping you somewhat. Excuse me. Lil Eastream means Lily Stream. Amazing. Lily Stream. Right. Okay. Oh, it's quite warm in here. So as part of this stag do I was on the weekend, we wrote a pub quiz. And we each took a round, and my round was Guess That Paint! I didn't have time to Photoshop it together before leaving London and printing it off, so I had to go to Warhammer World. I bought 5 paints, took the labels off and stuck them back on the underside and made people guess. You know what? The people didn't do too badly. At first, people wrote all sorts of basically wrong stuff. But then I got a torch out and showed them, and they were like, oh, one person got 3 out of 5, which I thought was genuinely quite impressive. Others got none of them, but it was good fun. I threw Sotek Green in there. Or is it? No, Sotek. Is it Sotek Blue or is it Sotek Green? Anyway, I threw in the Sotek paint, which was very, very fun. I enjoyed it very much. Rel says, oh god, I've just had a horrible thought, which is a pub quiz in which every question has the same answer. I wonder how many questions could you write that all have the same answer? I had an idea for a pub quiz which is just called Strongly Held Opinions That I Have, where basically I read out a list of my opinions, and if you want a point, you write true. But obviously the idea is for me to say things that you don't want to say are true. For a pub quiz round I came up with, I have very few examples, but it would just be like opinions that people are gonna hate. Like I would write, I'd say, like, for example, Horizon Zero Dawn is shit, and in order to get the point, you have to write down true. So you could just like write down true for all of them and get max points, but then like, if it's an opinion you really disagree with, can you bring yourself to do it? What if the other team is writing down all of that? See, Emma Benton just typed in caps, how dare you, right? So, Emma, you'd have to betray yourself if you wanted the full point. But what if the other team has no difficulty writing down true? Are you going to let them pull into the lead? So basically, I would just come up with a bunch of statements that people would just have difficulty agreeing with. I just think it'd be quite funny. Emma says, never, I will not. Yes, I will. They can win. So, all right. There you go. That's a testament to your dedication. Naka says it's a pub quiz. I would do almost anything for points. See? Exactly. Will says, a few years ago, 10, David Mitchell did a quiz that was entirely opinion-based in order to be ungoogleable. Okay, that's very funny. What other pub quiz rounds have I done? Because obviously in the pandemic, everyone was like, let's do a Zoom quiz. I did one, and that was more than enough for me. I did 2 rounds. One of them was a music round where basically I'd run the names of bands through Thesaurus. So, like, the Rolling Stones, for example, would be like circulatory minerals. Well, not circulatory, but a better example. But I also did a round called Things That Are in the Sea But Shouldn't Be. There was a lot of questions about things like Lego falling off of cargo containers. I know RKG have done pub quizzes in the past, and I think that's absolutely bloody wonderful. Sorry. Some messages that I absolutely must respond to. Anonymous says, things that are in the sea that shouldn't be. I expected the answer to be whales. No. Oh, you know what? I reckon I've still got this quiz round. It's on Google Drive. Who wants to do a pub quiz round from the middle of the pandemic? Yes, things that are in the sea but shouldn't be. Last edited on the 18th of April 2020. Here we fucking go. Oh, and we can do the other one as well. Now that's what I call Thesaurus. That was my other round. Okay. All right. Okay, so I don't have the PowerPoint presentation that went with things that are in the sea but shouldn't be. So this might be a bit hard. Will says, no posting answers until the end, please. I will ban you if you post answers before the end. Yes, absolutely. What you need to do is write down your answers like it's a proper pub quiz, okay? I don't want anyone to type any other answers in chat. You'll be timed out at the bare minimum, possibly banned from entering chat on this channel. That's the word. Forever. Is that understood? I assume it is understood. Don't actually type yes. You'll flood chat. But basically, post answers and you'll get banned because we're going to do this properly. Lucas says, "Can we type joke answers?" No, Lucas, because you know what? It's typing joke answers. People often try and pick something that's so far away from the answer that it basically just leads back to the answer. Like, one of my friends, I remember, sent me a slew of messages having seen one of the new Star Wars before me, and he was like, oh my god, I can't believe this happens. And I didn't read any of them, and I told him to stop it, because just based on what they said, I could reasonably work out what sort of things did come up. So let me just paint this last bit of trouser, and then we'll have 2 pub quiz rounds, and then I'll get back to painting. So, oh, the dog's snoring. We had a good long walk today. It was nice. Okay, right. All right. So, with the understanding that if you try and spoil the quiz for anyone, you'll be thrown out, let's play things that are in the sea but shouldn't be. Right after I read the super chat. From Sammy Faye Rose, who says, love your keyboard. It's sort of trans pride colours. Yay, trans pride. Been on HRT for my transition for over a year now. Keep up the fab work. Love you, Johnny. Thank you very much for the super chat and for the kind words. And congrats on the anniversary of your HRT. Right. Here we bloody go. Does everybody have... Right. Right. Do you have a way of writing down your answers? Because, like I say, don't type them in chat, you'll get banned. Here we go. Okay. There is a fish. I would be showing you a picture of this if it were 2020, but I won't be. There is a fish called the Chiasmodon niger. It has a massive expandable stomach that is capable of swallowing prey over twice its size and 10 times its mass. By what name is it more commonly known? Is it A, the black swallower, B, a deep-sea moorfish, or C, the Atlantic gorger? So this is the Chiasmodon niger is a fish with a massive expandable stomach, capable of swallowing prey over twice its size and 10 times its mass. Is it more commonly known by A, the black swallower, B, a deep-sea moorfish, or C, the Atlantic gorger? Amy Owen says, that's horrifying. Grumson says, this wasn't in Dredge. Sorry. Okay, number 2. There are 10 questions, by the way. The pistol shrimp hunts by snapping a specialised claw shut, creating a bubble that travels at 62 miles per hour and hits with enough pressure to kill small fish. True or false, this bubble is nearly as hot as the surface of the sun. You can see why these things shouldn't be in the ocean or the sea. They're terrifying. That's the pistol shrimp hunts by snapping a specialised claw shut, creating a bubble that travels at 62 miles per hour and hits with enough pressure to kill small fish. True or false, this bubble is nearly as hot as the surface of the sun. Yes, it's the mantis shrimp. Good spot, Emma Benton. Okay. Question 3. The Titanic is probably the most famous thing that is in the sea, but shouldn't be. Wow, I was a dick in 2020. James Cameron's award-winning documentary Titanic had a budget of $200 million. How many Titanics could he have built for that money? Is it A, 5, B, 12, or C, 26? That is, the Titanic is probably the most famous thing that is in the sea but shouldn't be. James Cameron's award-winning documentary Titanic had a budget of $200 million. How many Titanics could he have built for that money? Is it A5, B12, or C26? Quite rightly, a lot of you are asking whether or not this was adjusted for inflation. My lovely friends, I wrote this quiz 3 years ago and I was probably drunk. So I don't know. So that's how many Titanics could have been built for the budget of Titanic? 5, 12, or 26? A, B, or C? Okay. Question 4. The SS Richard Montgomery was an American Liberty ship built in 1943. She ran aground and sank in the Thames estuary near Sheerness in Kent, where she remains to this day. Her cargo was 1,400 tons of what? That's the SS Richard Montgomery was an American Liberty ship built in 1943. She ran aground and sank in the Thames estuary near Sheerness in Kent, where she remains to this day. Her cargo was 1,400 tons of what? Question 5. This dates the quiz a little bit. True or false, Wales, that's the W-H-A-L-E-S, Pomelo Boom Slang, I'm timing you out for trying to put answers in chat. Once again, don't try and post answers in chat. Just don't do it. True or false? Whales caught near the English coast belong to the Queen. Or I guess now, the King. That's question 5. True or false? Whales caught near the English coast belong to the Queen. Alrighty. Question number 6. In 1992, 12 shipping crates were washed overboard from the container ship Ever Laurel, sailing out of Hong Kong. One of these shipments contained 29,000 items that are, famously, still floating about the ocean today in a giant flotilla. But what are these intrepid, buoyant items? I will say, because I think I mentioned earlier that some of the answers are about Lego. I'm gonna give you this one. The answer to this is not Lego. One more time. In 1992, 12 shipping crates were washed overboard from the container ship Ever Laurel, sailing out of Hong Kong. One of these shipments contained 29,000 items that are, famously, still floating about the ocean today in a giant flotilla. But what are these intrepid, buoyant items? Question 7. I'm afraid of whales, and therefore I don't think they should be in the ocean. How long is an erect blue whale's penis? Is it A, 5 feet, B, 10 feet, or C, 15 feet long? I ran this round of the quiz on a Zoom call, also featuring 2 people I don't know that well. Haiku Rai says, why is this a question? Because we all were struggling to keep ourselves amused, Haiku Rai. Okay, that's I'm afraid of whales, and therefore I don't think they should be in the ocean. How long is an erect blue whale's penis? Is it A, 5 feet, B, 10 feet, or C, 15 feet long? If you want it in meters, do the conversions yourself. I wrote this quiz 3 years ago. Okay, question 8. Free Willy is another documentary about the ocean, one that notably inverts the topic of this quiz to be about things that aren't in the sea, but should be. I haven't read this since I ran it. One IMDb review states, first off, it is impossible for a 12-year-old kid to have a friendship with a killer whale. But in what year was Free Willy released in cinemas? What the fuck? Harry Arden says, what on earth have I just tuned back into? I'm running a pub quiz round that I wrote for a Zoom quiz in the first lockdown in 2020. Don't post answers or even joke answers in chat. Let me read question 8 again, because... Free Willy is another documentary about the ocean, one that notably inverts the topic of this quiz round to be about things that aren't in the sea, but should be. One IMDb review states, first of all, it is impossible for a 12-year-old kid to have a friendship with a killer whale. But in what year was Free Willy released in cinemas? Okay. Question 9. True or false? Octopi are uncommonly intelligent for sea creatures, and studies have shown they are capable of learning up to 20 commands from humans, which is about an eighth of the number of words known by most trained dogs. That's true or false? Octopi are uncommonly intelligent sea creatures, and studies have shown they are capable of learning up to 20 commands from humans, which is about an eighth of the number of words known by most trained dogs. Okay. Question 10. The third and final documentary of this round is The Little Mermaid, a 1985 film about a mermaid who is in the sea but shouldn't be because she wants to live up there. In this film, who or what are the characters Flotsam and Jetsam? Calla says, is it octopi or octopuses? I don't know. I wrote this quiz 3 years ago and I'm reading it verbatim. The third and final documentary of this round is The Little Mermaid, a 1989 film about a mermaid who is in the sea but shouldn't be because she wants to live up there. In this film, who or what are the characters Flotsam and Jetsam? Okay. Now it's time for the answers. So question 1. By what name is the Chiasmodon niger also known? It was A. The black swallower. Sometimes this fish, bonus facts in the answers, it's called the black swallower. Sometimes this fish will consume prey that is too large, which means it starts to decompose before it is digested. The resultant gases cause the black swallower to rise toward the surface of the ocean, where it dies. So yeah, that's a fish that can swallow prey over twice its size and 10 times its mass, and sometimes it can't digest it in time, so it starts to decompose, it inflates like a balloon with all the gases, rises to the surface of the ocean, and dies. Question 2. Question 2, true or false? The bubble that a pistol shrimp creates by snapping its specialised claw shut is nearly as hot as the surface of the sun. This is true. The temperature of the bubble that the pistol shrimp generates by snapping its claw shut gets to a temperature of 5,000 Kelvin. The sun is 5,800 Kelvin, or about 5,500 degrees centigrade. Charlie Stack says, what how? I know. It's terrifying. Right, the Titanic. Famous documentary. For the budget of $200 million, how many Titanics could have been built? The answer was C, 26. And a fun fact, the fourth chimney stack on the Titanic was not operational. It was put on there to make the ship look more impressive. So the Titanic had 4 chimneys, only 3 of them actually worked. Bananas, right? Okay, let's move on to question 4. The SS Richard Montgomery sank in the Thames estuary near Sheerness in Kent, where it remains to this day. Her cargo was 1,400 tons of explosives. These explosives, you can't go near the ship, you're not allowed to in case the explosives go off, and of course, as they age, they will become more and more unstable. And if it goes off, apparently, it's estimated that it would create a 5-metre tidal wave and flood a bunch of places. Mr. Tom for the Win says, I wrote ammo, does that count? You can have half a point for that, Mr. Tom for the Win. Karama says, does gunpowder count? Gunpowder, yes. Just ammunition, half a point. But yeah, absolutely terrifying. It's just out there. Right, true or false? Whales caught near the English coast belong to the Queen, or I guess the King. It's true. Making the Queen... What did I write here? True, making the Queen something that's got her mitts in the sea when she shouldn't. That was a crap gag. That was a really bad joke, me in 2020. Question 6. Thanks to 12 shipping crates washing overboard from the container ship Everlaurel, sailing out of Hong Kong, there is a flotilla of 29,000 rubber ducks still going around the world's oceans. They are actually tracked by scientists who use them to study ocean currents. Rubber ducks. There you go. Question 7. How long is an erect blue whale's penis? Is it A, 5 feet, B, 10 feet, or C, 15 feet long? It's 10 feet long. B, 10 feet. I'm 5'8". Terrifying. Let's see. Free Willy, the documentary about a child who has a friendship with a killer whale, came out in 1993. There you go. Question 9. True or false? Octopi are uncommonly intelligent for sea creatures, and studies have shown they are capable of learning up to 20 commands from humans, which is about an eighth of the number of words known by most trained dogs. That's false. I made it up. There you go. And finally, The Little Mermaid, the characters Flotsam and Jetsam are eels. There you go. They're eels. How did everyone do? Before we move on to the next round, now that's what I call Thesaurus. Eight out of 10 from Root -1. And Zachary Smith. Will got 9 out of 10. All right, 5. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, God. Ollie Bowes has done a super chat saying, Hi, Johnny and LSPs. Looking for first tattooist recommendations in London for socially anxious types. Last painting stream got me fixated. Thanks. Ollie, what I would say is, I mean, a lot of tattoo artists are used to dealing with, well, basically just trying to keep their clients at ease. But you can also send an email to them and be like, just so you know, when you're booking in, be like, I'm quite socially anxious, so just, you know, if you could bear that in mind, blah, blah, blah. I would say, Parliament Tattoo is quite an open plan shop that can be quite busy, but also the artists are some of the most lovely, accommodating people. Particularly, if you look at Olga, Olga, Olga from Parliament Tattoo, is just honestly one of the most caring and like brilliant people when it comes to clients, and I think would be happy to draw like the screen across for privacy and all that kind of stuff. You can look at Olga's Instagram account, and there is an Instagram story on there with information about trying to book in. I don't know if Olga's books are open at the minute, but that would be my number one recommendation. But of course, that's if you like the style of tattoos that Olga does. You also need to find an artist that you like. But generally speaking, if they're a decent artist and you email them saying, listen, I'm anxious, you know, like I just want, you know, could we talk about this? Or rather, you know, like just so you know, and basically ask them to bear it in mind. If they respond poorly, you don't want to be going to them anyway. So there we go. Brian Mullard has done a super chat saying, just joined at the start of the quiz. I guess this started by talking about Dredge. Bought it after watching your stream. I've never had an issue with sea creatures until playing it. I get it now. So many nope moments. For me in particular, it's the little music cue that comes up when you catch an aberration for the first time. It's like blim bim blim bum. So oh that's horrible. Okay, right now. We're going to do a different round called Now That's What I Call Thesaurus. Basically, 10 band names have been run through a thesaurus. For example, if I could say fornicating firearms for Sex Pistols, or enumerating corvids for Counting Crows. So there are 10 of these. I'll run through them relatively quickly because I want to go on break in a few minutes. If you heard me talking about this round before we decided to actually run it, you may have already had an answer for you. So here we go. Question 1. Circumrotary minerals. That's question 1. Circumrotary minerals. Question number 2. Civil adversary. That's civil adversary. Question 3. I will run through these again, don't worry. Question 3 is crimson tropical capsicum. Crimson tropical capsicum. Question 4 is mush. That's mush, or mush if you prefer. M-U-S-H. Mush. Question 5 is silly delinquent. That's silly delinquent. Question number 6 is squashing squash. That's squashing squash. Question number 7 is frigid simians. That's frigid simians. Number 8, this one's the best one I think, is fast plank computer. Fast plank computer. Question number 9 is abracadabra maths, or math, I guess if you're American. Abracadabra maths. Maybe I'd make that one abracadabra integers is probably how I do it now. We've all grown since 2020, haven't we? Abracadabra integers. And then question 10 is water in the desert. That's water in the desert. I am going to read out a super chat now, and then I'll read out those questions again, and then we'll have the answers. Ger Norton has done a super chat saying, Johnny, for the Lizardman team, do you think Games Workshop should have used a book to find a different name for the Thesaurus? No, I don't think so. Oh, Thesaurus! God damn you! Oh, that you got me. Thesaurus. Thesaurus. Absolutely gutting. Well done. Damn it. Right. Fuck. Let's have those 10 again. Question 1. Circumrotary minerals. Question 2. Civil adversary. Question 3. Crimson tropical capsicum. Question 4. Mush. Question 5. Silly delinquent. No, question 6. Squashing squash. Question 7. Frigid simians. Question 8. Fast plank computer. Question 9. Abracadabra integers. And question 10. Water in the desert. All together now. Circumrotary minerals was the Rolling Stones. Circumrotary minerals. Question 2. Haiku Roy says, wait, what was 5 again? Number 5 was silly delinquent. Work fast, because I'm reading out the answers now. Question 2. Civil adversary is public enemy. Civil adversary, public enemy. Crimson tropical capsicum, question 3, was red hot chili peppers. Question 4. Mush was pulp. Question 5. Silly delinquent was Daft Punk. Question 6. Squashing squash was Smashing Pumpkins. Question 7. Frigid simians was Arctic Monkeys. Question 8. My favourite one. Fast plank computer is Fleetwood Mac. Fast plank computer is Fleetwood Mac. Abracadabra integers is magic numbers. That's abracadabra integers, or abracadabra maths is magic numbers. And water in the desert was, of course, Oasis. Water in the desert, Oasis. I'm getting booed. So there we go. Some 7 out of 10s. Kate Warrener says, my head is in my hands in a good way, but I got 5. So there you go. Those are 2 pub quiz rounds I ran during the first lockdown in 2020. I hope you enjoyed them. Will says 8 out of 10, got everyone I attempted. Very nice. But yeah, Fleetwood Mac. I was so pleased with that one. Anyway, so let's have a break because it's 6 p.m. We're going to have a 5 to 7 minute break. So I'm going to go away and get some more water. I go to the toilet and do a few yawns, apparently. Yeah. What are you going to do? Are you only good? Like, do you need a glass of water? You hungry? You too warm? You too cold? Basically, if there's anything in the next 5 to 7 minutes you need to do or want to do, go do it, and we'll all come back and we'll have a nice time continuing to paint. If not, don't worry. There's some smooth jazz and a picture of my dog, as per usual. So I will see you very shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this live stream. That's what they call them. Here on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. That's me. I'm Johnny Chiodini. Hello, how are you doing? Lubble1397 says, Johnny, I need your entertainment now. Someone I'm smitten with had to postpone our date because of work, so I'm feeling a bit down. That sucks. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's just a postponement. Don't beat yourself up about it. But obviously, it's alright to feel a bit sad about that. That's a shame. But you're here now, and the most important thing I need you to know is we're painting trousers on an orc. We're painting fancy trousers on an orc. Is that better than a shot at finding love? No! But sometimes you need to spend a little time in your day watching somebody talking out of their ass while painting the trousers on an orc. That's the moral of this story. I don't think I helped there. Sorry, basically, but hopefully this stream will help distract you somewhat. The stream's been getting progressively weirder since we decided to do 2 random pub quiz rounds. But there we go. Will says, I'm on to Marine number 4 of this batch, but also this stage is roughly the halfway point and the most complex bit. Oofed. It sucks sometimes that there are bite points when painting a model, where it's like, oh, here comes the tricky bit, or here comes the boring bit, or whatever. Because, like, certainly on the weekend when I was walking around Warhammer World, I was like, all of this is so beautiful. Why don't I paint all of the time? Why aren't I always painting? And then I sit down, I'm like, oh, I've got to do this bit. And I remember why. Will says, oh, now this is the opposite. Oh, okay, good. Oh, good. I'm glad it doesn't suck. Lubble says, feeling better already for sure, thanks, good. And thankfully it's postponed, but by 2 weeks more or less. Ouch, that sucks. Oh, Will says, this is the hell yeah, get this done and it's just easy bits and slapping piss around stage. Well then, I wish you joy of it. I have to say, I find, with these models in particular, this is the like, alright, let's carefully base paint this model and get it to the stage where I can paint the skin, and that's the exciting bit. But thankfully, all of the basing isn't too tedious on this. I don't know. We'll see how far I get. Maybe I'll only stream for 1 more hour. But we'll see. Just generally speaking, I'd like to do more painting. I haven't done as much this year as I would have liked to. When I had time off in February, I just sort of didn't do it very much. And then I had Mondays where I was doing D&D Fury of the Black Rose, and so I wasn't paint streaming, and all in all, it kind of killed my momentum. But there we go. That's some trouser. There we go. Call Me Mug says, if it helps, that happens in loads of hobbies. Like if I ever have to sew any knitting together to finish the garment, I'm a massive baby about it. Okay, I'm glad it's not just us. Haiku Riot on a super chat saying, thank you for the quizzes. It was amazing, participatory fun, and you're always entertaining as the MC of anything. Thank you. That's very, very kind. Quizzes are fun. I do like doing them. I miss the Eurogamer pub quizzes we used to do. C. Anderson says, sorry, Johnny, I'm taking this Thesaurus concept and doing a movie version to torture my work friends. Don't worry, I actually stole the concept from the aforementioned Eurogamer pub quizzes, where we used to do a Thesaurus round for video games. Like, I think it was like a desire to go fast was Need for Speed, for example. If you've got any particularly good ones, C. Anderson, pop them in chat. Or if you want to test any out, actually. You've got a willing audience right here. Some guy on YouTube has just done the first ever super chat. I know this because YouTube informs me of it, and because I have a super chat from some guy on YouTube. The super chat The super chat reads, I know you don't do well with compliments, but tough. The world is a better place for having you in it. Thank you for all you do. P.S. My mum adores you, so you also have that going for you. Wow. That's nice. Thank you very much to some guy on YouTube and to some guy on YouTube's mum. I'm glad to know that I poll well in both demographics. That's genuinely very, very kind. Thank you for the super chat. It's very, very generous. Compliments. Okie dokie. More trouser painting. And then we'll paint some metal bits. And then some leather bits and blah, blah, blah. Well, the pig has been really asleep for like 3 hours now. Really wore her out on that walk. I think she had a really big walk yesterday with my partner, so that will help. But speaking of Watson, if you're a patron of mine, there'll be a delightful Watson-related treat hitting your inboxes this week. Non-patrons, you'll be getting it in a month or so. Oops-a-daisy. It is very good and exciting. And calming. Oh, fuck the base. Just hold on to the head and feet of the orc. There we go. There we go. Hannah Axelson says, I knew joining the Patreon was a wise choice. It's going to be fun. I'm also, oh goodness me, off this weekend to work over the long weekend. So I'm not streaming next Monday because I'm going to be off working. But I'm making something very exciting that's going to hit the channel in probably a few months' time, actually. I'm going for a much longer lead time on this one just to make sure I can get the edits right, and because filming is quite involved. But there's a new thing coming up, and it's going to be good. And I think what I'll do is release weekly episodes for non-patrons, but do a Netflix-style or RKG-style just series dump for patrons where you can just watch all of it in one go if you prefer. It's going to be a good new thing, the new thing, I hope, I think. And I think it's kind of how I want to take the patron in general in the future, is to keep doing Press Any Chiodini, but in terms of having like regular, like, I will make you a thing of this every week, la 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 commitments. I think I would rather get it to a point where like the higher tier is a general support tier that enables me to make more off the cuff videos, like eating snacks with Joe Scrabbles and stuff, or this season that I'm going to film this weekend. Well, hopefully we're going to get more than half a season in the can. But I need to double check. Well, basically, we need to see what we can come out with. God, brain hard, words difficult. Kayla Evie has done a super chat saying, "Been feeling lost lately after losing my job that I loved, and with the US war on trans people. But your content always makes me smile. Loved the quiz." Kayla, I'm really sorry that you're having a rough time at the moment. Not only from losing your job, but as you say, the US basically declaring open war on trans people who just want to live in peace. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I hope things start looking up for you and for trans people everywhere, because it's a scary time, and I can only imagine what it's like to be over there and to be trans. So, yeah, hold fast, and I sincerely hope that things get better. I'm sorry you're feeling lost, but that cannot continue forever, basically. So lots and lots of love. And trans rights are human rights, everybody. It's that simple. Oh my god, I just had a thought. If I change that from silver to black, these would be non-binary colours. Would it look any good? I don't know. Will says no because NB colours are an aesthetic piss mare. Yeah, I might hold off. But it's a fun thought. I think I would regret it because I want these to look all bright. Will says, but you could slap a wash of Black Templar over the metal and push it hard to black. I was thinking about sticking Blamplar over there. Over the top. But I don't know if it would make them look too... Oh, but it could look really good. What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to have to go back over this and just paint some Iron Warriors, and I'm going to try it. Fuck it. I'm going to try it. Fuck it, why not? Let's try. Okay. Right. Welcome to Non-Binary Person Looks Through a Box of Paint. Trying to find a paint. Today we're trying to find Black Templar. I've got it. Short episodes. Oh, this is exciting. Because, I do think they look kind of... They're meant to look like silly, fussy... sort of nobility. But I do also want them to look quite intimidating, and I don't think the silver's really necessarily helping with the... I want them to look all fussy and nobility-like. Certainly in the face of the pleated trousers and all the feathers and stuff. The black probably would make them look a bit more like... Ugh. Let's do it, why not? Aiden says, do you ever sort your paints into a rainbow? Aiden, I don't sort my paints at all. I tried. I used to have paint racks and I used to have them in order, and then I just realised it doesn't work for me. It's fussy and annoying, and all it makes me do is go, why isn't that paint there? So I have a big box and I just chuck them in. It's what I do. You know what I am going to do is I'm going to paint these 3 bits of trouser, and then we'll do the Black Templar on there. So, oh no, some guy on YouTube has done a super sticker. I don't want to alarm you all, but it is the super sticker we refer to here as the blood pair. Now, at the very start of this stream, indeed before the stream began, we saw the pair once. And so I described the pair as being much like the real world fruit. Sort of, you know, green, rounder at the bottom than at the top. But this one differs considerably in that it has arms and legs and a face. And its actions denote a degree of intelligence. I regret to inform you that the pair has returned, and its actions in this case are indicative of a degree of malice, because the pair is standing at a far remove from the screen and smiling, which ordinarily wouldn't be troubling, but actually the facial expression is rendered more upsetting by the fact that the pair is holding, in their hand, a mug. They're repeatedly thrusting the mug toward the screen as if to say, look at what I've got, or possibly look at what I did, or, perhaps most disturbingly of all, would you like some? Within this mug, I regret to inform you, is a viscous red fluid that I have reason to suspect is blood. You can now see why we call this pair the blood pair, and why its frequent appearances on this channel are somewhat disconcerting. So, thank you, some guy on YouTube, for that most unsettling and generous sticker. That was one of the better blood pair ones I've done in a while, I think. Anyway, I enjoyed that one. Right. Okie dokie. Let's see. Oh no. Call Me Mug says, as a mug I can confirm. Oh no. Okay. Right. Let's see what Black Templar looks like on these models. Could look good, could look bad. Let's find out. Okay. Here goes nothing. That was a bit clumsy, wasn't it? Or is that too much? Let's get rid of some of that. Let's push that around a bit on the model, shall we? Just headbutted the camera, didn't I? At least you know I'm paying attention. Oh, I quite like it, actually. Yeah, I like it. It's good. Pepin, I think it's pronounced, has done a super chat saying, "Hey Johnny, really enjoy your work and awesome attitude. You made my week by butchering my name. It's shorter now, so it should be easier. Oh, I hope I haven't butchered it this time. Otherwise, where do we go from here, you know?" Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm sorry for butchering your name, but at least you claim to have enjoyed it. That's good news, in a sense. Ooh, I'm being a little untidy here. But all in all, I like the... Oh, fuck. I like the Black Templar on here. Just need to get rid of some of it. It's cool, was very funny. Okay, good. Thank you. So the last thing I want to do is upset people. All right. Pretty sure I like this. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Just makes the other details pop more. We'll wait for it to dry, but yeah. Big fan. It's a nice blend of orcishness and imperialness. May have put too much of it on, I don't know. Let's do another one. Haiku Rai says, are you humming I Can Show You the World from Aladdin? No, I'm not. What was I humming? Rows of Endless Waves by Bell Witch. I'm going to use a smaller brush for this. But a bigger brush than that means this brush. All right. Onwards. Patrick Phelan says black metal cover of I Can Show You the World. Shining, shimmering, splendor. Bit of fun. Always nice to have a complete change of heart on your colour scheme. Well, not complete change of heart, but if not insignificant change of heart on your colour scheme when you're half a dozen models into the team. But thank goodness it's just slapping a contrast paint over what I've already done. Corvus Albright has done a super chat saying drive by haiku for drive by haiku time. Matt Berry tone of voice. Do a very good painting. Ride into sunset. Thank you very much, Corvus. I will do my best. Hopefully my painting will be better than that Matt Berry impression. UK rowing. That's, yeah. I haven't watched enough stuff with Matt Berry in for a long time, basically. Tiger Tales TV says, hi Johnny, hope you're well and all is good at your end of the internet. Glad to have caught this stream for once, even if I'm late. What have I missed? 2 rounds of a pub quiz. Me chatting about Lord of the Rings yet again. Painting trousers on orcs. And couple of pairs. That's probably it. Couple of pairs of what? Can it, chat? Okay, I definitely put the Black Templar on too thick here. But what I might do is do some like little scratches in it to make it look like their armor's been dinged up. But all in all, I do actually really like this colour scheme more. And it's the non-binary pride flag colours. But I don't think... Somehow, I don't think this looks awful. Because the non-binary pride flag ain't the best colour combination out there, let's face it. Alrighty. Patrick Phelan says, we've discovered how to make the non-binary pride flag look pretty fantastic. Put it on an orc. I apologise, a very human who is a human. Patrick, that is some stunning work. Thank you. Whoopsie. Shit. Flood it with water. Karima says, are orcs the new NB icon? Well, orcs in Warhammer like are grown like mushrooms. Like they all pop out from like a big mycelium, so I guess they have no need for gender, despite the fact that they often go around calling themselves like boys with a Z. So I'm going to say yes, actually. Warhammer orcs, NB icons. Every last one of them. Oh, there you go. Nate Crowley, or Frog, made orcs non-binary. There we go. Fuck yeah. Well then, I feel extra good about this step. These do look like tank tops now rather than bits of armour. But also I just don't hate it. I like it. I like it, in fact. It's just different to what I normally do. So, and I just found what I'd done with the metal quite flat and boring. Hannah Axelson says, who wouldn't love some non-binary orcs and tank tops? Well, exactly. Oopsie daisy. I think this will need a bit of highlighting, but I just felt like what I had before was very nothingy, so I'm quite pleased. I definitely put it on too thick on a couple of them, but that's okay. They don't all have to look completely uniform. Although aren't team colours a uniform, etc., etc. Yes, yes, yes. Very good, very good. I do like it. Yes, I do. Had a horrible moment there where I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, I'll do some highlights so it doesn't look quite so just flat. Yeah, it'll be fine. Wheels on to Marine number 8 now. Well done. Craig Heath has done a super chat saying, hi Johnny and LSPs, long-time lurker and member of VOD Squad here. Wanted to drop in to say thanks for all that you do. Brackets, part 1 of 2. Well, thank you very much, Craig. That's very, very kind of you. I'm glad. It's always nice to hear from a member of VOD Squad, whether in the comments or through them making it to a live every now and then. And you're very welcome for all that I do. I like doing it, so that's a bonus, I think. Craig says, part 2, your videos in the community have helped no end through tough times over the last few years, and I am now 8 weeks away from finishing my medical degree. Holy shit, congratulations. That is no small potatoes. As the child of medics, I have the utmost respect for your chosen profession, and a great appreciation for how much bloody work goes into it. So yeah, congrats again. I hope the next 8 weeks go smoothly. And just, yeah, generally, fucking hell. Really glad that you've enjoyed my videos along the way. I hope they've helped in stressful times, and I hope they've just been fun in fun times. Good on you, bloody hell. That sounded sarcastic. I didn't mean for it to be. You know what I mean. Yeah, these are going to take some weathering, but that would then be the first time I've really done weathering. So that's all right. Yeah, all right. Is that all of them? Yeah, it is. And I think with the ogre, I'm just going to leave him as is. Rudy Gerber says, all right, okay, folks, I'm off. Have a good one. Take care. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Yeah, I'll leave the ogre as is. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Good. Smash cut to me waking up tomorrow morning and being like, I hate this, it's awful. No, I just think it draws the eye more to the shoulder pads and the silly trousers and everything. Neato. Okie dokie. We also need to finish off these feathers, don't we? So I'm just kind of entering. I'm entering that bit of the stream where I just start talking waff to myself. Olivia Farrell says, "Ah, yes, the natural endpoint of the creative process. Do I still like it?" Hulk. I think I do. But this always happens to me on a painting stream. I did it last week when I was like, oh, I've painted the skin on these orcs, and I don't know, not only if I don't like the skin on these orcs, but on all the other ones I've done. And you know what? They're absolutely fine. There's too much shade on there. Okay, here we go. Pick out the reverse. Neat. Alright, that's that one done. Cool. That was a fun little detour, wasn't it? Let us. You know what? I think I'm only going to go till 7, which is another 19 minutes, because I'm very warm, and I'm starting to flag a little bit. But, oh wait, I've already done the trousers on this one. Well, that's good. Right, let's base paint some wood. Oh, hello, other brush. Didn't see you there. How's everyone's week looking? What are you up to? Anything big and exciting, or is it drudgery, or is it just kind of business as usual? What you got going on, everyone? Hope you got a fun one ahead. Ooh, Neurodiverse Games says, working on my new game about fairy punks. That sounds great. Will says, this weekend I'm going to stand on the Acropolis and honk a horn which wakes up the summer. Fuck yeah! I hope you don't catch fire, Will. Let me know how it goes, because that is very exciting. Even if I don't want summer to wake up. But, you know, I appreciate that it can't be held indefinitely just for me. Ooh, Lena Hampton says, vet visit with both cats on Wednesday, partner finally back in town on Friday, birthday on Sunday. That sounds like it just like an increasing amount of fun as the weekend goes on. Starting off with a vet visit with 2 cats. Sounds like work. Partner finally being back in town. Excellent. Birthday, presumably with partner. Super excellent. Happy birthday for Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful time. Ooh. Becca says my sister's getting married and I'm the ring bearer. I assume in the the context of wedding, you're not going to take it too seriously and run up a nearby volcanic mountain and try and bung the ring in. Or both rings, I guess. I mean, you know what? If that's what you want to do, that's valid as well. It's not my wedding. Carrie Choi says, nothing happening here for me. Well, I hope you have a lovely, relaxing, lovely week. Becca says, my outfit does make me look like a hobbit. Well then, I think you have to. T-Fling has done a super sticker. I'm afraid the pair has done it again. Actually, you know what? We've not had the pair do anything else since the last blood pair. So if you'll all join me in hoping against hope that it's the same mug of blood, but basically the anthropomorphized pair I discussed with you earlier is back and is standing on the screen at a far remove, holding a mug filled with what I just assume is blood, and repeatedly pushing it toward the screen as if to say, behold, look upon my works and despair. So that's nice. Thank you, T-Fling. What a delightful visitation you have wrought upon us all. Aidan has done a super sticker of the pair, looking slightly abashed, like looking down and blushing, but then going like, tee-hee-hee, as if to say, I'm not really sorry. Which is just worrying. It also means that the pair has now disposed of the mug of blood. Because, well, I certainly can't see it, so if the blood pair re-emerges, the natural conclusion will be that a crime has been committed, specifically by the pair. Oh God, that's a bit untidy. That's fine, I'll fix it later. Do-do-do. Keep glancing back at those orcs in their new black tops. Am I going to regret it and take it all back? I think what I'll do is post 2 pictures to the Blood Bowl group, Blood Bowl League, and be like, what do you think? Oh, very good. Cameron says, look upon my works, ye mighty, and this pair. Absolutely brilliant. 10 out of 10, no notes. Just wonderful. Patrick Phelan has done a super chat saying, rare super chance. I assume that's super chat, but autocorrect probably doesn't like the word super chat. Rare super chat. Thank you for all things, Johnny. Oh, that's very kind. I can't take credit for all things. I'm not God, but I will take credit for the things that I do and am responsible for, and you're very welcome. It's never not weird to be a professional internet dingus. It feels strange to me every single day, and I think the day where I'm like, no, I deserve this, blah 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 blah, and stop thinking of it as a weird thing I'm lucky to do, is the day I should stop doing it. By force! Not by force, but yeah, no, thank you. I'm very grateful. Will says, Johnny, if someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Well, they didn't ask me. No one asked me if I was a god. Anyway, I wouldn't want to be like the god. That's too much work. I would like a small province of which to be the god of, you know, like Bacchus, but with the less like death or plagiarism. So I guess what I'm saying is I'd like to be Dionysus or something else. The god of slightly disturbing super stickers, for example. Oh, Patrick Phelan says, I portmanteaued super chance from chance to give a super chat. In Australia, it's an unusual time to be present. I understand. Thank you, Patrick. I assumed that autocorrect had done you dirty there, but in fact, you were coming up with a fascinating new term. Thank you very much for that and for the super chance that you took. Well, it's hard. Oh. Okay, right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to very quickly paint the gloves and boots and helmet on this orc. And then we're going to put some dings and scratches and stuff on the black of those orcs that I just painted. Because otherwise I'll obsess over it for days. And because I'm going away at the end of the week. And I can't stream next Monday because I'm still going to be away filming something for the channel. God, that's untidy. I'm lending my paints to a friend who needs to finish up painting his Blood Bowl team, but started painting them at my place, and so has used a bunch of paints that he doesn't have ready access to. So I was like, look, listen, this will light a fire under your ass. I'm going to bring you those paints, blah, blah, blah. What was I saying this? Oh, yeah, basically, I'm not going to be painting for a little while, because I'm lending all my paints to someone else. So I don't want to be obsessing over whether or not I've completely fucked it that whole time. So that's why I'm just going to rush out this little base layering on the helmet and the shoes, and then it'll be fine detailing time. Not being very neat, but that's fine. I can tidy it up later. Ebrel says, so no painting stream next week. Sadly not. I'm afraid I will still be away filming. But I promise you it'll be worth it once this project hits the channel. And I will be streaming this Thursday. So we've got that going for us. And then there'll be episodes of Presni Chiodini on Saturday. And then we do the whole thing again. Right. Quinn Gray is on a super chat saying, what would be put on the altar of Johnny the deity? What would be put on the altar of it? Crisps. Crisps would be a fine offering. A good hoodie. Oh, Alison Wasserbauer is on a super chat saying, hey Johnny, I've become more of a lurker, but I wanted to say thank you for all that you do. Your videos are keeping me sane while I start college for a botany degree. Hey, good luck. Like, I hope it all goes, or is going very, very smoothly. And you meet some wonderful people and that you enjoy it. Doing a degree is a very weird thing. Like, it's a very strange experience. A good one, but it can be just utterly surreal. So, King Cartoffel says offerings of pale sand. Yes, pale sand, crisps, and a nice hoodie. And all the rest of you can shut up about sweet chili sauce and tuna. Yeah, Alison, like, I hope it all goes wonderfully. And botany is a fascinating subject to study. I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm going to put a bit more water in here. Watering down some silver so that we can do careful slashes. Yeah, that'll work, I think. That was no good. I always panic at this bit. I'm no good at the weathering stuff. Random slashes just look odd. Okay. Let's start off in the comfort zone. The little edge highlight. If it's not my neatest work, then that's fine. Headbutting the camera again, classic. You know what? It only catches it in certain lights, and I don't hate it. GG Roland has done a super chat saying, painting streams equal best comfort for tedious editing. I'm glad I could help. I enjoy the painting streams, and I'm glad other people do. I realise they have not quite as broad an appeal as the video game ones, but it's nice to do something that is as much for me as it is for the audience, you know what I mean? I quite enjoy that. Now, where was it? Sort of a... Yeah. Stippling, you know what, stippling the silver on and then taking it off again. I don't hate it. In fact, maybe that's more our effect. Let's try with another one. Here we go. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. Put it on, dab it off. Put it on, dab it off. Yeah, just to break it up so it's less uniform. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Especially since there are already some marks on this one. Which we can just highlight. What a treat. I'm fully talking to the models here, which is not a good sign. I'll probably wrap up the stream in a few minutes. Carrie Choice says, time for me to sign in to meet your maker. I wonder how many have died in my outpost today. How is that game? It sounds very intriguing, but I tend to get very disillusioned with things where you make your own level very, very quickly. Like, when I played Mario Maker, I was just like, and no, I am not a games designer for a reason. But it does sound cool. Now these ones are a bit better because I was more sparing with the Black Templar. Oh, that's a lovely bit that I need to highlight there. It's a whole gouge. And then around that little ding. Yeah, we're getting there. Alright, this is fun. Yeah, this works. Okay, cool. What do you know? We've managed to make NB colours on a model look alright. Carrie says, I'm surprised how much I like it. The building is pretty good and some people are very sneaky with their outposts. I think I'd be up for trying other people's outposts, but I know that you sort of need to man your own outpost in order to sort of... Well, do you have to upload your own one? I might try it, is what I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how I feel. Oh, that is much better. The Black Templar and then attacking it with silver again has been very rewarding. Cool. One more to do, and then I'll clock off for the evening. Expressive Depressive has done a super sticker of a heart with all sorts of spangly bits on it. Thank you very much, Expressive Depressive. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for your generosity. Carrie says you get more XP faster if you make your own, but it's okay not to. Well then, maybe I'll give it a bash. Do you reckon it'd be a good streamer? Or like a good streaming game? Or maybe leave it alone? Because if I stream it, it's tax deductible. Expressive Depressive says, I am not, but better because of you guys. Big mood. That's how I feel a lot of the time. Not well, but grateful for my friends. C. Anderson says, this has been a wonderfully relaxing good time as usual, but I have to go and I'll probably miss the rest. Have a good night, all. Well, I'm going to be off myself in like a minute, so you've not really missed anything. But nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in and take care of yourself. Right, there we go. Yeah, I think that all works. Cool, cool, cool. Right then. I try it off stream first. It's free on PS Plus this month, I think. All right, I'll give it a go. Thanks, Bob P. Caramel. Right. So that about does it for today's painting stream. I'll be back on Thursday, where there'll be more of me, but I'll be playing a video game that time. So look forward to that. And then on Saturday there will be episodes of Preston Kid. My hair is frizzy. The episodes of Preston Kid on Saturday for you to watch. And yeah, then, you know, time will march on ever forward. And there'll be more stuff for you to watch on the channel. In fact, there's more stuff for you to watch on the channel right now, thanks to us having been doing this for a while. So there's previous streams and Let's Plays and all that good stuff for you to watch. Do check some of that out if you fancy it. Do like and subscribe. I mean, I'm hardly knocking it out of the park with the YouTube algorithm here, but I think we have a quite nice thing going on, and it's good fun. So, you know, tell your friends about this channel if you get the chance. But But yeah, I'll be back soon. But have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you soon. Farewell. Bye. Oh, I've got a Patreon. Yeah. Good. Glad we got that sorted.